Hello, folks. John Ley here. Last week, Washington State Treasurer Mike Pellicotti was in town, interacting with local government officials. One of the things he spoke about was the Washington Future Fund. That caught my attention. It even caught a little mention in the local press. What is the Washington Future Fund? It was a proposal from Pellicotti and Democrats, primarily in the state legislature last year, that was going to create a special fund for supposedly the needy. They wanted to put aside $128 million a year of your tax money into a fund that on the surface would help poor people go to college or possibly go to a trade school. But there was also mention in the language that it could help someone buy a first home or possibly start a business. Maybe that sounds good, but the overarching question is, why should your tax dollars be available to help someone buy a home? Why should your tax dollars be available to help someone start a business? We already have a plethora of government-sponsored programs that help all sorts of poor people in a host of ways. To me, this raised serious questions. So I went in and I looked at the language on the legislation. There was a bill introduced in the state Senate and another in the House. Unbelievably, there were only 2 Republicans that agreed to co-sponsor this legislation. All the other sponsors and co-sponsors were Democrats. Yet Senator Ann Rivers and Representative Paul Harris here from Clark County agreed to co-sponsor these events. The real issue here is whether you want to talk about education or anything else, is the fact that our public schools are already sadly failing our children. We learned recently from several reports that over half of our young people graduating from high school fail to meet standards when it comes to reading, English arts, and science. And that 7 out of 10 of our young people fail to meet standards when it comes to passing maths. This is absolutely horrific. It does no good to make a special fund available for a trade school or college or post-secondary education when we've already failed our kids in K-12 education. That's the real problem. Presently, we spend over half the state's general fund budget on K-12 education. The overarching question is, where's the value? Are we getting value for the money that we're spending on K-12? And sadly, test results show our children are not meeting standards. It's time to make improvements with the money we're already spending. Go to electjohnlee.com to learn more about my battle to bring value for the money you spend and to shine the light of truth on how the government wants to spend your money. Money kept in your pocket can be allocated to the best way you feel you have the needs, rather than giving it to the government first. Go to electjohnlee.com to learn more about my battle on behalf of you, the citizens of Washington.